tonight. Time ticking against the threat of increased bombing on Iran.
They're going to have no bridges. They're going to have no power plants.
Airstrikes continuing today as Trump's deadline for a ceasefire looms over the Middle East. The cost of war coming to Canada in the form of financial pains at the pumps.
From here to Toronto, it's like an extra couple of $100 just doing the same trip as I was doing last month.
Local gas prices getting another jump, and Gatineau drivers are now paying just shy of $2 a litre. Plus,
4115, Ottawa.
First responders surprising an Ottawa boy 2 years after a devastating crash.
Meeting the face of the people that held his hand in the toughest moment when I couldn't be there. I couldn't ask for anything better.
A moving gesture as the 9-year-old lives with the reality of his injuries. Good evening. Patricia is away tonight. We begin with the latest on the rising prices at the pumps and a warning that things are likely to get a lot worse. Experts say Ottawa drivers could soon be paying north of $2 a litre, with one of the biggest surges so far on the way. CTV's Leah Larocque is in studio with the latest. Leah.
Stefan, this is sticker shock we haven't seen since 2022 when gas was more than $2 a litre. And now experts warn the spike to get that expensive threshold is coming. It could hit as early as next week, putting more pressure on drivers who are already feeling the squeeze.
The numbers on the sign just keep ticking up.
It's crazy. Prices are ridiculous right now.
For delivery driver John Basler, higher gas prices hit even harder because driving isn't optional.
From here to Toronto, it's like an extra couple of $100 just doing the same trip as I was doing last month.
Prices in Ottawa expected to spike again above $2 a litre as early as next week. In Gatineau, some stations already at $1.99.
It's very expensive right now. And
Every bridge in Iran.
U.S. President Donald Trump has given a Tuesday night deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping point for the world's oil, causing uncertainty in the global energy market.
The future looks very tense as far as not just what will happen this evening if President Trump makes good on his attack on Iran and Iran's inevitable response to neighboring nations. That could only intensify what is now a very severe and very significant drawdown in global supplies.
I think hopefully, the war will settle down soon and prices will go back down.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says the government is looking at ways to help.
And this is what the government's focused on, is how long is this going to persist and what can we do to help cushion the blow for Canadians, and that's something we're looking at.
But offered no additional details. Back at the pump, little comfort for those like Pat Cominford, who just got the final number for today's gas.
213.
If this was a month ago?
160.
Gas experts say we haven't seen the end yet. Even if the war ends soon, it could take weeks or months for prices to go down. And don't forget, refineries are also switching to summer-grade blends sometime in the next few weeks, which is more expensive. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Leah Larocque reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Leah. Turning now to the conflict in the Middle East, U.S. President Donald Trump's deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz is now less than 2 hours away. And he says if that doesn't happen, a whole civilization will die tonight. CTV's Joy Malbin is in Washington with more on the 11th hour negotiations.
The U.S. and Israel launching new strikes hitting military targets on Karg Island, though no oil facilities were hit, hoping to pressure Tehran to open the Strait of Hormuz, that critical shipping route held hostage by Iran. President Donald Trump posting another ultimatum to make a deal or else. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will, ramping up his rhetoric, raising the stakes, and threatening to blow up everything.
After that, they're going to have no bridges, they're going to have no power plants, Stone Ages, yeah.
Striking civilian targets considered a war crime under the Geneva Convention, putting the U.S. military in a moral dilemma.
It is vile on every level. It begins with a promise to use the U.S. military, our military. Those people who are in direct contact with the president need to say, no, I'll resign. I'll do whatever I can do legally to stop this.
Iran is defiant, instructing civilians to become human shields surrounding power plants and bridges to deter Trump, while striking targets in Israel and hitting the Gulf states. Qatar now warning this war could spiral out of control.
There are no winners in the continuation of this war. There are only losers.
Iran rejected a temporary ceasefire, slamming the president's threats as rude and delusional, and won't open the door to dialogue. The U.S. vice president saying just the opposite.
There's going to be a lot of negotiation between now and then, and I'm hopeful that it gets to a good resolution.
Pakistan's prime minister tweeting that there has been progress in diplomatic talks, and he's urging President Trump to extend his deadline and asking Iran to open the strait for 2 weeks as a sign of goodwill. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the war in Iran. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel. The 19-year-old charged in the hit-and-run death of a Barrhaven crossing guard was at the Ottawa Courthouse today, and he's now expected to enter a plea in the near future. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, Xander Wright made a brief appearance at the courthouse this morning. He waived his right to a bail hearing and remains in custody. He's expected to return to court later this month to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. 55-year-old crossing guard Peter Clark was hit by a vehicle at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kennevale Drive on March 23rd while he was helping students get to class. He later died in hospital from his injuries. Wright is charged with failure to stop after an accident causing death. The 19-year-old is also facing a separate impaired driving charge linked to an incident last July near Smiths Falls. That matter is scheduled to go to trial in Brockville in December. Here in Ottawa, Wright is expected back in court on April 28th to enter a plea. Stefan?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. Thank you, Caitlin. Still ahead, the province's new approach to recovery and addiction is coming to Bell's Corners. Details on the location choice and what it could achieve a little later. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now, -1. And with our first check on the weather, Jackie is joining us in studio. And Jackie, you know, it's really not feeling like spring. I'm not trying to complain. I know it's on the way, but man, oh man.
I'm going to hope that you hold on to that for Thursday, where we will see double-digit temperatures. And you're right, we've had a little bit of roller coaster just today alone. Started off with Tuke and Mitts with some flurries moving through, and then by this afternoon, lots of sunshine, but it is still quite chilly. We're well below seasonal. This time of year, we should be seeing 8-9 degrees, but we're nowhere near that. The good news is that sunshine is in store for pretty much all of our Wednesday. It's not until Wednesday evening we might see some clouds rolling through, but again, enjoy the sunshine we will be receiving. And temperatures are already starting to warm up as we see southwesterly winds moving in for our Wednesday, kicking things off at -7 tomorrow morning. By noon, we'll warm up to about 2 degrees, and in the afternoon, we'll see about 6-7 degrees as our anticipated daytime high. Now, right now, temperatures across eastern Ontario still hovering around the freezing mark, but you could really see throughout the region that temperatures are hovering between 0-1 degree and lots of sunshine moving through. We'll have a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. The contentious high-speed rail project is now sparking a new controversy and raising questions about a possible conflict of interest involving the finance minister, his significant other, and Alto. CTV's Judy Trin has all the details.
The office of Francois-Philippe Champagne says the federal government's past decision to fund Alto, a Crown corporation developing a high-speed train line, happened before he was appointed finance minister.
The largest infrastructure project in Canadian history.
More than a year ago, former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that $3.9 billion would be invested in Alto. Champagne became finance minister a month later in March 2025. His partner, Anne-Marie Godet, seen here walking beside him, was hired by Alto in August. Champagne says in September, 10 days after Godet was hired, he proactively reported to the Ethics Commissioner and the Prime Minister his personal connection to Godet to safeguard against any real or perceived conflict of interest. The man who appointed Champagne says no rules were broken and that it's important for cabinet spouses to be able to earn a living.
The Minister of Finance has followed those rules and regulations in notification of the Ethics Commissioner, in recusing himself. This is a good situation because we have his partner who can pursue her career, the Minister of Finance who can do his responsibilities.
No new money was allocated in the budget that Champagne delivered, but he did announce that a faster timeline would be used to approve high-speed rail. The Conservatives are calling for the federal ethics watchdog to investigate the minister.
The legislation that benefits Alto was included in the finance minister's budget, and nothing ends up in the budget that the finance minister hasn't put eyes on or hasn't contributed to.
Champagne says he will not participate in votes or discussions pertaining to Alto and that he's delegated fellow cabinet member Wayne Long from New Brunswick to participate in his place. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Some residents are speaking out about the government's initiative to slash the tax on new homes. The HST rebate could save homeowners up to $130,000, but those who missed out by just days or weeks say it's not a fair deal. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us now with more on this. Tyler.
Yeah, Stefan, for one Ottawa couple, just a few weeks made a difference of tens of thousands of dollars. And now missing out on that new HST rebate has a rippling financial implication for them, possibly years down the road as well.
It's a very tough pill to swallow. It's given me a lot of sleepless nights.
Back in February, Jalil Abu Ali and his partner Whitney put a deposit on a new construction house.
A modest 3-bedroom home in Embrun. It was still a lot of money for us.
The couple was happy until late March, when the federal and provincial governments announced a plan to eliminate HST on new homes starting April 1st. That's a 13% rebate on houses up to $1 million.
My neighbor could close the same week, and they, I'm just typing hypothetical numbers, but they could have a home of the exact same style property for, let's say, $80,000 less.
The Ontario Home Builders Association says the program, designed to spur construction and affordability, is already working, with more people choosing to make a move.
And there's that whole trickle-down effect. The family moves up into a larger home because their family's grown, their incomes have grown. Then that leaves wherever they're leaving, whether it be rental or resale, open for somebody else.
The resale market and the new build market have always been closely intertwined, yet very different.
While this year's housing market has been slow to start, experts say it's too soon to know if the HST rebate will affect resale pricing.
Keep your eyes on the horizon. Real estate is always a long-term game, and your home will go up in value, and it's not meant to be a short-term plan.
It's disheartening because this is my livelihood.
Abu Ali says he's reached out to the government and wants others in his position to do the same, in the hopes of nailing down a solution. In a statement to CTV News, the provincial government reiterated the plan to help homebuyers, but did not address his concerns.
It may not mean anything to them, but for myself, for my family, this is a lot of money to be missing out on.
The HST rebate will be available for 1 year, but first-time homebuyers can access the rebate on new homes purchased on or after March 20th, 2025. Stefan.
CTV's Tyler Fleming reporting live for us. Thank you, Tyler. We have more details on the new HST rebate for homebuyers on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. A teenager is in police custody after a lockdown at a Smiths Falls High School sparked by reports of a gun. The incident happened this morning at the Smiths Falls District Collegiate Institute on Percy Street. The Chimo Elementary School around the corner on Ross Street was also placed on lockdown as a precaution. Police seized 2 replica handguns. No one was injured. The lockdown was lifted at 12:30 this afternoon. Ottawa police are looking for a suspect after a smash-and-grab robbery last month. It happened at Bayshore Shopping Centre around 9:40 in the morning on March 23rd. Police say the man stole jewelry and that some of the items are traceable and may show up for sale online. The suspect is described as a black man between 18 and 25 years old. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Ottawa Police Robbery Unit. The winter weather made a return to the capital today, and the snow and sudden dip in temperatures caused some chaos on the roads this morning. A section of Highway 174 suddenly turned into a skating rink just before 11 a.m. That caused 3 separate crashes near Blair Road, including a multi-car pileup. Paramedics say there were no serious injuries. The federal government wants to know if you think car headlights are too bright at night, something CAA says is a concern for drivers.
Certainly, headlight brightness has become more of an issue over the past decade, I would say, and we do hear complaints from members complaining about brightness, about the different colors of headlights. I think it's all predicated on vehicle design changing, taller vehicles, as well as headlight technology. But the question is, how quickly will they act on the findings?
New headlight technology can help drivers see better but can be blinding to others on the road. The Transport Canada survey is available until April 20th. We have a link to it on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. A celebrated Canadian folk singer made famous here in Ottawa, David Whiffen, has passed away.
7 years passed, alone at last, he decided to hit the road.
Whiffen was renowned for mixing a folk and bluesy sound. He performed on his own and was covered by the likes of Harry Belafonte and the Cowboy Junkies. He was also a friend and collaborator of Bruce Cockburn. Whiffen is seen here performing his hit Coast to Coast Fever in the former CJOH studios. Whiffen died Sunday at Ottawa's Maycourt Hospice. He was 84 years old. The Artemis II astronauts are officially on their way home after an historic journey around the moon.
The gravitational pull of the Earth has had a profound effect on the near side of the moon.
The crew flew around the moon last night, snapping these incredible photos and taking detailed observations of the lunar surface. They became the first humans to see the dark side of the moon. They also captured the moment the Earth dipped below the lunar horizon and took photos of a solar eclipse they viewed from the moon. And this is a look at NASA's live stream of the Orion spacecraft. Their journey home takes 4 days total. The astronauts are scheduled to return to Earth on Friday.
4115, Ottawa.
Coming up, first responders have a special surprise for a 9-year-old boy who had to learn how to walk again after he was injured in a crash involving an impaired driver. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. We'll have another evening where temperatures are going to be below the seasonal this time of year. -8 is what we're anticipating, but clear skies. This will carry us into our Wednesday where things are trending warmer. 7 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. Not quite there yet right now. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam where it is -1 out right now. Still seeing a lot of sunshine down along Sussex and McDonald-Cartier Bridge.
First responders are a family that is 4 times as likely to suffer from mental health disorders. The Ottawa First Responders Foundation provides wellness supports for currently serving and retired Ottawa fire, police, and paramedic personnel and their families. In this family, no one stands alone. Help support those who are there for you. For information and to make a donation, visit ottawafrf.ca.
Here's a live look at the roads this hour. Congestion just starting to ease, but do remember there is a game on home ice at the Canadian Tire Centre for the Sens, so westbound traffic may be a little heavy heading out to Canada. Now to a special day for a courageous young man whose life was forever changed 2 years ago. A car crash nearly took Jayden Hunter's life, but today, Ottawa police, fire, and paramedics teamed up to give the 9-year-old a day to remember. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin.
4115, Ottawa.
This is Jayden Hunter. This day is all about him.
It's very kind of them. I didn't think they would do this.
Ottawa police, fire, and paramedics showing the 9-year-old's various aspects of their jobs.
Is that okay?
Oh, Lord!
And that they stand with him.
This is the tool here we used to cut the roof off your car?
Jayden has life-altering injuries and had to learn to walk again after the vehicle he was in was struck by an impaired driver at high speed in December 2023.
This event organized by Ottawa Police.
With all the surgeries and all the trauma he's been through, for me it was important to just show him that, not just the police officers, but the paramedics as well as the firefighters, we are with him, we support him, and we will be with him for his entire journey.
This is a special host. From the fire trucks to tactical team takedowns, Jayden was also able to say thank you.
I got to see the people, the first responders to me, the people who opened the car I was stuck in.
Meeting the face of the people that held his hand in the toughest moment when I couldn't be there. I couldn't ask for anything better, so it's special, very special.
Our crews don't always get to meet the people that they rescue, and this was a very serious extrication call in 2023, and our firefighters extricated this young man out. It was special for them to meet him and talk to the family.
We're rooting for you. We hope that you're doing okay.
Our patient only see the back of the truck usually, so they got to be in the front of a paramedic transport unit. You talk on the radio, our dispatchers give him a call out. If you can put a smile on his face, it's mission accomplished for us today.
This specially made piece of art signed by first responders, a day Jayden and his mom will never forget.
I think today, seeing that you have all these people that are always in your corner, that are always willing to go to bat for you, that's something that it's beyond special.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
There are blue skies in the capital tonight, but that was not the case earlier today. Residents woke up to a fresh blanket of snow on the ground, but it should melt soon, fingers crossed, with temperatures set to warm up tomorrow. Jackie's here with a full check on the forecast. And Jackie, please let us know that warmer temperatures are on the way. I know sunshine's on the way, but warmer temperatures?
Yes, for tomorrow,
okay.
For Thursday. I'm gonna check back with you when we get to later on in the week, okay, because there might be perhaps some snow on the way. We're going to tease that right now. But right now,
over to you,
look,
Jackie.
sunshine.
You take it away. Yes, sunshine. Yay, happiness.
Lots of sunshine happening. These are the conditions right now. It is -1. We are anticipating a daytime high of about 0. That should happen in the next couple of hours, but then the sun sets, and then we're getting back down to minus temperatures. So tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, about -8 here in the capital, as well as Brockville, Cornwall, Kingston at -6. In the valley, it's a little bit chillier, where overnight lows are going to hit around -11. The good news is the clear skies will carry us into tomorrow, where we will see sunshine, not just for the afternoon, but really throughout our day. So 7 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. Some areas hitting around 6 degrees, but again, hopefully with that sunshine, it's going to warm up a little bit more. We've got those southerly winds moving in as well, so it's going to be mainly clear skies for our Wednesday. It's not until probably Wednesday evening that we will see some clouds moving in, while Thursday we will anticipate mainly sunny skies. I'm paying attention to this system that is moving through, and by the afternoon we could see parts of the region see a little bit of thunderstorms moving through as well, and this will really focus around the Smiths Falls area, Kingston. It may not hit Ottawa, but we are keeping a close eye on this. So by the time we get to Friday, it should be clearing up as well. Now, temperatures across Canada, take a look. St. John's hovering around the freezing mark. Fredericton, 1 degree. So we're still around that freezing mark, and it is a late start to spring, because right now we should be seeing 8, 9 degrees. We're hovering around 0 right now. Sudbury at -3, Windsor and Toronto at 2 degrees. Lots of sunshine. Regina, though, keeping things warm at 10 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. Calgary still getting hit with the snow, including Edmonton. Temperatures hovering around 1-3 degrees. Vancouver at a sunny at 10 degrees. Now, this 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aids. Join them at the 55 Plus show at the EY Center, April 10th and 11th. So sunny, 7 degrees for Wednesday. Is that patio weather, Stefan? I mean, given the weather that we've had, yeah, I'll take it. 13 degrees for our Thursday. Don't be wary of that 30% chance of showers. That is likely going to be more so later into the evening. And we did mention a little bit of that snow. So Friday, depending on how much cooler we get, it is a daytime high of 4 degrees. If it gets slightly colder than that, we may see the periods of rain and snow. But Saturday, I'm going to bookmark 10 degrees and sunshine. Monday, I know it's still early. I know it's a week out, but 21 degrees. Hopefully that stays.
I don't want to get my hopes up. Like, we've been disappointed before. It could change to 18 and 17. But I'll look forward to next week. Things should improve. Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome.
It's a lot of housing precarity in the suburbs and in rural locations, which means that, people are couch surfing, people are unhoused.
Coming up, a new homelessness and addiction recovery treatment hub is set to open in Bell's Corners. How are businesses in the area reacting? That story just ahead.
Tonight, Donald Trump's ultimatum to Iran.
There are no winners in the continuation of this war. There are only losers.
The looming deadline and the potential for catastrophic consequences. We'll have that story and more later on CTV National News, and watch on Crave.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Ottawa's second homelessness and addiction recovery hub is set to open tomorrow in Bell's Corners. It will offer housing and substance use supports and social services, but not supervised consumption. The new center, located at 2194 Robertson Road, is aimed at serving people in more rural and suburban locations. CTV's Dylan Dyson has details.
Our doors will be open tomorrow morning, serving the community here in West Ottawa.
A new homelessness and addiction recovery treatment hub, or Heart Hub, is opening Wednesday in Bell's Corners.
You can be a working mom who is concerned about their teenage son and their drug use, coming in to access information. You can also be somebody who's currently unhoused, struggling with a serious mental illness and addiction, and needing treatment today.
The center, placed in Ottawa's West End, is meant to serve those with housing and addictions needs who live in a more rural or suburban setting.
It's a lot of housing precarity in the suburbs and in rural locations, which means that, you know, people are couch surfing, people are unhoused. They may be sleeping indoors, but they're actually unhoused.
We will see resources, being shared with communities in Kempville and Almont. We will see rural folks driving in.
So we have 6 rooms, 8 beds total. So 2 doubles and 4 singles.
The Heart Hub is located in this strip mall on Robertson Road in Bell's Corners and will receive $5 million every year for the next 3 years from the province. Located in the same strip mall, Zola's restaurant was skeptical about the Heart Hub opening.
I initially had bad thoughts because I was ignorant about it. Visions of lineups out, with the needle injections, but there's no drugs whatsoever on site, from what I understand.
The provincial government is opening Heart Hubs as it moves away from supervised consumption sites. The Heart Hubs do not offer a safe drug supply or harm reduction supplies. Still, business owners in the area are concerned customer traffic could fall off.
All the tenants in this mall were equally freaked out, and I went to have a tour last week, and I was really impressed.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
In tonight's Big Picture, firefighters, a hydro crew, and wildlife volunteers teamed up to save a pair of bald eagles in BC. The birds had locked talons while sparring and got caught in power lines. This happened in Surrey yesterday. Crews had to use a ladder to reach the 2 eagles, which were hanging upside down from the power line. Once they were freed, they immediately flew away. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. A 40-story high-rise could one day overlook Tunney's pasture. A developer has submitted a proposal to build an apartment building at Parkdale and Forward Avenue. The building would have 429 units and more than 200 parking spaces. The councillor for the area, Jeff Leeper, is hosting a webinar open house tonight at 7 p.m. where more details on the proposal will be shared and residents will have a chance to ask questions. Ottawa drivers will soon have an extra week to pay the early payment fine for a parking ticket. A city committee approved the changes, extending the early payment option from 7 days to 15 days after the tickets have been issued. The early payment option is $20 cheaper than the set fine for parking and traffic fines. The extended pay period will be implemented within the next 6 months. Canada's Wonderland is making its chaperone policy for younger guests permanent. All guests who are 15 years old or younger will have to be accompanied by an adult older than 21 in order to be admitted or stay at the park after 4 p.m. every day. One chaperone cannot have more than 10 guests. Wonderland implemented a similar policy back in September because of what it described as unruly and inappropriate behavior by young people. The new policy will be in effect for the entire 2026 season, which officially begins on May 3rd.
Pass fed back. There he goes. Up by Stutzla coming off the bench. In comes Tim Stutzla with a burst. Stutzla in. Oh, what a goal by Tim Stutzla. A spectacular.
And the Ottawa Senators getting set to play at home tonight, fresh off a big win on Sunday against the Carolina Hurricanes. They won that game with a final score of 6-3. The Sens remain 1 point up for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. They're hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Canadian Tire Centre tonight. Puck drop is at 7.
Winner, Gagnon.
Changes are coming to the Lotto Max game starting Friday. Ticket prices are rising from $5 to $6, but each one comes with 4 lines instead of 3. The changes mean you have slightly better odds of winning lower prizes, but less of a chance of winning the jackpot. Maximum jackpots are also increasing to $90 million, up from the current $80 million cap. Tonight, the jackpot is $75 million with 12 max million prizes worth $1 million each.
Just because you happen to have a razor-thin majority, slightly more than half of the seats in the legislature, doesn't magically change an awful lot.
Just ahead, voters are set to head to the polls in 3 crucial federal by-elections. In less than a week, we'll have more on what the results could mean for Carney's government.
Ottawa's favorite cash contest is back, and it's big. Move 100's $50,000 Beat the Bank. 7 vaults. You decide how much to take home. Sound the alarm? You lose it all. Be listening weekdays for your chance to win.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
We are just 6 days away from 3 federal by-elections, which will be a crucial day for the Liberals. It could give Mark Carney's government a majority. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more on what's at stake.
A closely watched race in Terrebonne, Quebec, previously won by just 1 vote. And 2 in Toronto expected to stay Liberal red. Right now in Parliament, the minority Liberals hold 170 seats, the Conservatives 141. With 343 seats total, 2 by-election wins would officially get the Liberals a majority at 172.
The reality is it's actually a lot more complicated than that.
Political science professor Alex Marlin points to a number of factors. The Speaker, currently a Liberal, doesn't vote except in a tie. And in a tight majority, you need to make sure no one misses a vote. While the makeup of parliamentary committees doesn't suddenly change, not currently controlled by Liberals, so government business won't suddenly speed up.
Just because you happen to have a razor-thin majority, slightly more than half of the seats in the legislature, doesn't magically change an awful lot, other than in the narrative. The narrative for Mark Carney would become very, very positive, and by extension, it would be negative for Pierre Poilievre.
It would mean higher food prices, higher taxes, a ballooning deficit, which Mr. Carney has already doubled. It would mean that he could continue to block resource projects and give us the only shrinking economy in the G7.
That's why the 3rd by-election in Terrebonne could make a difference, a tight fight between the Liberals and the Bloc. Add 4 floor crossers this session and questions about the future of a Trudeau cabinet minister, and you see why each seat matters. While the Prime Minister was clear, even with a majority, he wouldn't prorogue Parliament, launching a reset.
Absolutely not. It has never even entered my thinking.
There are more questions still about what could change the course of Parliament and government business. How the Prime Minister plans to fill growing Senate vacancies is one of them. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
A mining company based in British Columbia says some of its workers in Mexico have been killed. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
Vizsla is based in Vancouver. It confirms that 9 out of 10 workers kidnapped back in January are dead. The employees worked at the Canadian company's silver mine in Sinaloa State. It's known for cartel violence. Mexican officials say the group may have been mistaken for gang members when they were abducted. One of the workers is still missing. For the first time in 6 months, home sales in Toronto rose. Last month, sales were up 1.7% from March of 2025. But prices are still moving in the opposite direction. The average selling price dropped 6.7% year over year, but it's still over $1 million. Canadians could soon see better deals on Doritos. Sources say PepsiCo has missed its revenue targets and so will slash prices on salty snacks like Lay's, Ruffles, and Cheetos. Walmart has been complaining about the higher price of PepsiCo products, saying some bags cost as much as $7. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.98. West Texas Intermediate is up to 112.95. Western Canadian Select is down over $1 to 79.49. And the TSX gained 55 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
You know, you don't get stranded here. You can't get stranded in the best province in the country, as far as I'm concerned.
Just ahead, why international headlines are describing Newfoundland as a freezing Canadian island and how local residents there are reacting.
Far side pass, and it's a early shot. He scored!
Hey.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
We have breaking news just in. U.S. President Donald Trump says he will agree to a temporary ceasefire in Iran if the Strait of Hormuz reopens. Trump says he has agreed to suspend the attacks on Iran for 2 weeks after threatening earlier today that a whole civilization will die tonight if Iran fails to meet his latest deadline to strike a deal that includes reopening the Strait of Hormuz. This as the Islamic Republic urged young people to form human chains around power plants and other potential targets. Again, Trump is now saying the fighting will stop if the fuel can be seized and shipped out of Hormuz. This is a proposal from Pakistan, who has been aiding with negotiations. There's not yet a response from Iran on this ceasefire proposal. This just into our newsroom a few minutes ago. In other news, when dozens of planes were diverted to Newfoundland after the 9/11 attacks, the community made international headlines for their support and friendship. But a recent incident involving a plane load of passengers is leaving Newfoundlanders feeling a little underappreciated. CTV's Garrett Barry explains.
A story of heroism the likes the world has never seen.
A headline so worthy of parody, Keith Muse says he just couldn't leave it alone.
That was stranded on a lifeless, frozen tundra island.
When the BBC and People magazine wrote of one flight's air travel nightmares, they called Newfoundland a freezing Canadian island.
In a city of mere hundreds of thousands, 200,000.
That description didn't quite sit just right with some people in this province who are kind of famous for bringing people in when flights are grounded. The musical Come From Away about the grounded flights after the 9/11 attacks helped catapult central Newfoundland to Broadway fame.
I just don't want to hear anybody badmouth in Newfoundland. You know, you don't get stranded here. You can't get stranded in the best province in the country, as far as I'm concerned.
The British Airways flight from London was grounded for 2 days in St. John's, first for a medical emergency and then for what staff called a temporary technical issue. All the while, they didn't have access to their bags.
We are used to this, and the staff are used to getting called in the middle of the night to come and help, and they're very dedicated.
Heather McKinnon and her team at the Delta Hotel took in most of those passengers during their delay. She says hotel staff made extra runs to Shoppers or Walmart to help passengers while their bags were stuck on board.
Some were traveling for funerals, some were traveling for weddings, so that was a little frustrating, but they kept in good humor.
But that headline, the freezing Canadian island, it caught the attention of this province's tourism minister, who wrote to People magazine today, complaining the headline diminished Newfoundland and Labrador. Garrett Barry, CTV News, St. John's.
Coming up, Walmart staff are searching for the owner of this cat who traveled all the way to Cornwall from Montreal. That story when we return. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Lots of sunshine in store for our Wednesday. Daytime high anticipated 7 degrees. It will trend warmer by Thursday. 13 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. But temperatures will drop by Friday, including the return of mixed precipitation. Those details and more after the break. But here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where the sun continues to shine along Sussex Drive, and the wind is still picking up. You can see that camera is shaking. Current temperature -1.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, Will paid a visit to Dover Court, helping adults with special needs participate in work and recreation. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Coming up tonight after the news, Best Medicine starts at 7, Will Trent at 8, High Potential at 9, and RJ Decker at 10. And here's a recap of the top stories we're following right now.
Probably 25% more than it was before the war, I guess.
The painful climb at the pumps once again creeping higher. Filling up the tank could soon cost drivers north of $2 a litre.
Minister of Finance has followed those rules and regulations in notification of the Ethics Commissioner, in recusing himself.
A new controversy surrounding the Alto high-speed rail project, with concerns about a potential conflict of interest involving the finance minister.
Because there are a lot of people who are in some precarious situations, and this is just not fair for them financially.
And an Ottawa couple speaking out, saying it's unfair they missed out on the new HST rebate for new homes by just weeks. And with a final check on the weather, Jackie is back.
Yes, thanks so much, Stefan. Lots of sunshine in store for our Wednesday. Waking up to -6. We'll feel closer to -12. We got those southwesterly winds moving in. So most of our Wednesday, you're going to see lots of sunshine. It won't be until Wednesday evening we're going to start to see the clouds roll in. So enjoy tomorrow. Daytime high 7 degrees. Thursday is 13 degrees. The chance of showers will likely be for Thursday afternoon, early evening. And by Friday, we could see periods of rain or snow with a daytime high of 4 degrees. So we're still in a roller coaster of temperatures as well as precipitation. Hopefully for the weekend, it still maintains that we do get that mix of sun and cloud and double-digit temperatures as well. Stefan, Austin.
Thank you, Jackie. And time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight. CTV's Austin Lee will be at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Steph. We'll have more on this headlight story, the Transport Canada's survey on headlights and glare at night. Most drivers will have felt this at some point on the road, with headlights on newer vehicles much brighter than those on cars from years ago. CTV's Sean Varden, he's out right now speaking with drivers, gathering reaction, and of course we will share that later tonight. You can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, thanks, Austin. Finally for us tonight, an interprovincial search for a cat owner is underway after a furry stowaway was found inside a transport truck in Cornwall. This photo was posted on the Lost and Found Pets of Ottawa and surrounding areas Facebook page. Now, according to the post, the cat was found inside a transport truck trailer at the Walmart warehouse on April 1st. The trailer traveled from a Walmart supercenter in Montreal. The post says the cat is safe and being looked after by Walmart logistics staff. Members who have contacted the SPCA in Montreal and posted it in several Montreal lost pet groups. Hopefully we can get this cat back home.
April 1st. So what's that, 5 days? What's the date today?
About a week.
About a week, okay. So you see this cat for a week in Cornwall. What do we do?
You get that cat a book deal. It's got some stories to tell.
We put it on the news like we just did.
Yeah. Well, hopefully once they find the owner, get a book deal.
And do the story.
Yeah, the story is that this cat must have if it could speak, eh?
This cat must come back to its home. All right, that is CTV News for this Tuesday. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team, keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app, and for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night and stay safe.